Hello, I am Dr. Darnita L. Payden, and my purpose is to educate, to encourage, and to enlighten. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop by today. I am so grateful that you are here. Before you leave, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you are notified when I upload a new video, and do me one favor. Tell at least 5 people that you know about this video and my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. So today I thought we would have some fun using an assessment tool. Yes, assessment tools can be fun. Especially because this isn't one where we're going to rate you on anything, or you're not going to rate yourself. Because I'm simply going to ask you 7 questions, and you're going to answer those questions that say that you never do that thing, you seldom do that thing, you sometimes do that thing, you often do that thing, or you always do that thing. And why I say it can be fun is because it will give you an idea of where you are in your strengths. And so you can celebrate that, or it can let you know some places where you can tweak some things so that you can do better. Or it'll be, a wake up call to say, okay, I can do some things differently. So let me start working on those things. So let's get started. First question that I have for you is, how often do you organize or plan to maintain order in your life and in your space? And I ask this question because a lot of people think that, life is just happening to them, that order is just going to happen to them, that being aware and planning just happens. And none of those things are true. We actually have to put in the effort. So the question again is, how often do you organize or plan to maintain order in your life or space? So you would answer, I never do that. I seldom do that. I sometimes do that. I often do that. Or I always do that. Okay. Number 2 is, how often do you write down your plans on paper or on your computer, or if you keep those things on your phone? So you would answer, I never write those down. I seldom write those down. I sometimes write those down. I often write those down, or I always write those down. All right. Number 3 is, how often do you allow for flexibility in your plans? Again, you would answer never, seldom, sometimes, often, or always. This is an important question because although if you've seen one of my videos where I talked about someone saying that I wasn't as spontaneous as I needed to be, we do need to leave, in our plans some flexibility for things changing, because life happens. Sometimes things are out of our control, and especially if we haven't planned for them, life happens seemingly a lot more. So leaving room for flexibility in your plans is important. So again, you would go and write never, seldom, sometimes, often, or I always leave flexibility in my plans. Number 4, how often have you been successful in the things that you have planned? I'm never successful. That's generally not true, but a lot of people think that way. And that's generally not true. We've all had some success in our lives somewhere. We have to look for it sometimes. Or you would write, I seldom have been successful. Well, sometimes I'm successful, or I'm often successful, I'm always successful. If you're always successful, I want to shake your hand. Well, from a safe distance. I'll wave at you 6 feet away. Okay. Number 5 is, are you and your personal time a priority on your list? This is big right here, because a lot of us tend to put everything and everyone else above ourselves. And I promise you, number 5 is not saying that you're selfish, that you put yourself first. But think about it this way: if you are worn out and you're tired and you're exhausted and you're depleted, how good are you to anyone else? So it is important to practice great self-care. So for number 5, you would answer, I never put myself first. I seldom put myself first. I sometimes put myself first. I often put myself first. And I always put myself first. Remember that we're not talking about being selfish and putting ourselves first and making ourselves a priority. But what we mean is we're practicing great self-care, or we're making sure that we're in a position that we are in a good place so that we can be helpful to others. Okay, how are you doing so far? Let me know down in the comments. Number 6, do you schedule or make time for family and activities? Again, not being selfish. Family is important. Activities are important. It's good, for our motivation. It's good for our health. It's good for our mental clarity and for our mental health to spend time with family. To plan activities. So I never do that. I seldom do that. I sometimes do that. I often do that, or I always do that. And that's make or schedule time for family and activities. Number 7. We're coming to the end, and 7 is the number of completion. Do you find that your plans are often interrupted or negated by unplanned activities? So that would be no, that never happens to my plans, or that seldom happens to my plans where they're negated by, unplanned activities. It sometimes happens, it often happens, or it always happens. And what I mean by that your plans are interrupted, that again, there's something that came up that you had no control over, but that seems to happen to you on a regular basis, or there's some life event that keeps reoccurring in your life, and that's generally something that you need to pay attention to because it keeps happening and it's interrupting your ability to remain organized and to live the most functional and organized life that you would like to do. So take special note to number 7 on what the unplanned activity is, especially if it's something that keeps reoccurring. It could be, let's say you forgot to pay a bill, and so you had planned an activity, but you can't because now those funds have to go somewhere else. That may be a budgeting issue, or it may be where you need to write down more of the things that you need to do. That needs to be a part of your budget. You need to be reminded that that's an expense that you need to do. Or it may be something else. You go to get in your car, and you find out that you're on E because nobody put gas in your car. Or you're forgetting commitments that you made. Again, writing those things down is always helpful so that those plans that you've made, you actually get to enjoy them and get to complete them. So I've given you 7 ways that you can see where you are organizationally. How are your organization skills? I hope that this was helpful and fun to you and just gave you an idea of some areas, like I said, where you're doing wonderfully because you answered always to that question, or maybe there's some areas where you could benefit from some tweaking, from some revisiting on how you're doing things because you answered seldom or never on those things. Again, this is not something to make you feel badly about yourself. It's more of a tool to say, okay, this is where I am. And when we know where we are, we can make better decisions in our life. So I hope you enjoyed this. And let me know again in the comments, where you were. Were you more on the never, seldom, sometimes, often, or always spectrum when you were answering these 7 questions? Thank you again so much for taking the time to stop by today. I hope that this was beneficial to you. Before you leave, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you're notified when I upload a new video, and tell at least 5 other people you know about my channel and this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know if these types of videos are helpful for you, if you would like to see more, and leave a comment of some other videos that you would like for me to cover. I love your input. I am so grateful that you are part of the community. And if no one has told you today how awesome you are, I want you to know that you are absolutely, positively awesome. Take care. God bless. Bye.